Come on in. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about what I want to see in Survivor 44. Like my wish lists for other seasons in the new era, I'm going to keep this realistic, meaning this list will purely be things I actually think are in the realm of possibility. Yeah, I'd love the auction back too, but it's not in the cards. We must move on with our lives. Before we get into my hopes and dreams, let's look at what we do know about Survivor 44. 18 new players will yet again hit the shores of Fiji, split up into 3 tribes, and competing for the title of sole survivor over 26 days. Idols will be different this season as well. They'll be locked in a sort of bird cage publicly in camp, with a note explaining how to open the cage, requiring castaways to be stealthy and take on significant risk if they hope to obtain them. Finally, earning the merge and shot in the dark will likely remain, as well as the split tribal at Final 10. I want to give credit to Survivor. With each subsequent season of the new era, they've refined what works and dropped what doesn't. So I'm extremely hopeful this season will continue the positive trajectory of 42 and 43. But what else is there? From editing decisions to the presentation to challenges, let's take a look at what I want to see out of Survivor 44. At number 5 is to reach into the vault with old challenges. Over the last month, I've been looking at some of my favorite and least favorite challenges of seasons past that we haven't seen in a while, and it's reminded me just how creative and unique Survivor's challenge department really is. Since Survivor set up permanent shop in Fiji though, challenge diversity has dwindled towards an over-reliance on the swim out, go through an obstacle course, then solve a puzzle challenge format. These are probably used both due to their budget friendliness and because it's easier to edit them into a horse race, but a little challenge diversity would go a long way in refreshing the challenges and making them something to look forward to again. Looking at Survivor 43, we're on the right trajectory. While 44 was shot prior to 43's airing, I'm sure that Survivor understood that the return of Last Gasp was a big deal. That wasn't the only old challenge they reused though. Other old fan favorites like Roll With It, No Quarter, and House of Cards all made an appearance, and 43 was easily the best challenge season of the new era. It was a huge step in the right direction, and I'm confident that 44 will continue this course correction. I'm not saying every single challenge needs to do away with the tried and true formula, but Survivor would be silly not to continue this challenge momentum, and there are plenty of other classics that they can dust off from seasons past. Hello? Instead of Final 4 fire making, how about Final 4 fire mecha-ing? I can't believe I'm giving away great ideas like this for free. Mecha! At number 4 is to continue the unconventional edits for winners. As a day one viewer who can spot the more obvious winner's edit a mile away, I sincerely appreciate that Survivor has mixed up how they present winners and are editing more for the story of the season than the story of the winner. 3 seasons deep, it's very clear that Survivor used the COVID layover to really examine how they edit winners and made a conscious effort to mix that up. Of course, this could just be a function of who is actually winning in the new era, but I for one am glad that, at least so far, it appears the days of the obvious winner's edit that is telegraphed from their first confessional appears to have been scrapped. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just take a look at Tommy's squeaky clean 3 confessionals per episode regardless of relevance edit in season 39. It is the most obvious of all time. Wow, I just don't know who's going to win here. Will it be the meme player, the other meme player, or Tommy? Truly a mystery. Frankly, I like that Survivor's showing the winner's flaws, letting them dip into invisibility when they're not relevant to the episode's storyline, and keeping things fresh for a viewing audience that is largely wise to old tricks. Gabler me more, Survivor. At number 3 is for a successful shot in the dark play to happen. As the number 1 shot in the dark defender, I will die on this hill. The shot in the dark is a good twist, and over 3 seasons, they've finessed it into a proper Survivor mechanic. But I get the restlessness over it from fans. It needs to pay off soon. We're getting, well, you know. The good news is we're statistically overdue for a shot in the dark play. Shot in the dark gives you a 1 in 6 shot of safety, and over the last 3 seasons, 6 people have played theirs and lost. So I know probability doesn't really work this way at all, but it's gotta happen soon. I like Shot in the Dark because, like the idol, it incentivizes blindsides. In fact, the threat of the Shot in the Dark's existence has already paid off in more secrecy and blindsides on the show. But I'd like to see one played and won. Here's my pitch to skeptics. In my view, the Shot in the Dark is on the immunity idol trajectory. Just like idols and their introduction in season 11, the debut was a bit janky. Idols were refined over the next 2 seasons, where they were not played, but their existence greatly impacted the course of the game. Still, fans were skeptical. Then, in their 4th season of use in Survivor Fiji, we saw Survivor's actual first, honest-to-goodness, successful idol play, and it was hype. Think of the Shot in the Dark in the same way. The 4th time's the charm. I really do like this mechanic. It adds a lot, and I think the strategy around it is only in its infancy. It just needs a kickstart with, actually paying off. At number 2 is to integrate the logo design into the theme of the season. A common criticism I see of New Era seasons is that they all feel samey. Although I don't necessarily super agree, I understand the argument, especially for more casual viewers of the show. Seasons of Survivor used to be defined in large part by their location, their theme, or both. It was right there in the subtitle. Survivor, David versus Goliath. Survivor, China. Survivor, heroes versus healers versus hustlers. They all worked great, no notes. New Era Survivor is defined largely by their casts, and I think their twists, particularly in the way idols function. For many people, that is leading to the inability to really distinguish between New Era seasons after the fact. So, how do we fix this? Well, my idea is to integrate a soft theme present on the season's logo more thoroughly into the season. Think of Palau's World War II theme or Pearl Island's pirate theme. Those themes were thoroughly present in challenges and set decoration throughout, and were both incredibly memorable. New Era Survivor could totally pick a new aesthetic each season, or even each pair of seasons, slap it on the logo, and integrate that into challenges, set decoration, advantages, and tribal council. 42 and 43 were both missed opportunities in this regard. Let's look at the logos. 41's logo is a hand triumphantly holding a torch above waves, obvious symbolism of the show weathering the storm and their post-COVID return. But 42's logo is a maze, lock, and key. 43's is an octopus. Both of these could have been used as more than just art on a buff. Imagine a Final 6 or Final 5 challenge in 43 that's a giant, twisting, 8-pronged maze in the shape of an octopus. Imagine 42's challenges all integrating locks and keys somehow. Now look at Survivor 44's logo. You can't tell me that some sort of medieval theme wouldn't be incredible. A drawbridge to tribal council, for example. A challenge of one-on-one jousting duels, or using a sword to cut a rope to release your puzzle pieces. This doesn't have to be complicated. Survivor doesn't need to bring back blank v blank themes or season subtitles to be memorable. Purely aesthetic themes have been some of the most powerful in history. Game Changers is one of my least favorite seasons, but the shipwreck motif is strong throughout. If Survivor can integrate these soft themes back into the season, I think the show will head off a lot of criticism that the new era is bleeding together. Okay, and are you all happy? You got me to say something positive about Game Changers. Savor it. It won't happen again. To end things on a positive note, my number one wish for Survivor 44 is for Survivor to continue to have fun. Making Survivor fun has been one of the prevailing motives of Jeff and the producers in the new era, and I think they've largely succeeded. Each season of the new era has been built upon refining previous concepts from the season before, whether that's evolving how idols work, tweaking the summits, or dropping twists that aren't working. But one thing I love that they're trying are the one-off twists or advantages in each season, even if not all of them are bangers. I'm thinking obviously of the bigger risks associated with getting idols, but also of other littler things like the advantage amulet in 42 or the choose your champion advantage in 43. Drea having to get literally caught red-handed to get the knowledge's power. These were all good ideas where making the show fun to play for the players and fun to watch for the audience were the primary focus. Beware advantages in particular have been a huge success in my book. The silly phrases, collecting beads from other players, the forthcoming idol cage in 44, these are all just super fun and creative ideas. I'd like to see the show continue to evolve in this direction. I mean, I hate to disagree with the great Keith Nail, but Survivor is fun.
Survivor ain't fun. Going on a cruise is fun.
Got nothing else for ya. Let me know in the comments what you're hoping to see out of Survivor 44. Until next time, don't get idled out.